Yo, welcome back to another episode of Superhero Swag. I am your host, 16 the Icon, aka Mr. Superhero Swag. And today, yeah, bro, yes. All we need is Maximus the Mad and the royal family of Attilan will be a full thing. Let's get him right there in the middle like that. Look at that. Right there in the middle. Okay, so this may or may not be true. On Instagram, I have been bugging Dwight Stahl. Dwight Stahl is, of course, one of the people that are responsible for these works of art that you see before you. Now, me being obsessive and being an action figure junkie, I have been hitting him up on Instagram and I have been throwing him ideas that would, of course, benefit my collection. One of those ideas was to finish the royal family of Attilan. I told him that we needed an updated version of this because this, although it was cool at the time, was the Bucky Cap mold. Now, mind you, this head sculpt, fire. The effect of whatever this is coming off of his tuning fork, fire. However, outdated buck. These wings did not come off of the figure. Therefore, it hindered articulation. Y'all know how I feel about hindering articulation. I am against hindering articulation. So I dealt with this, but I always wanted that. Okay. I dealt with this, but I always wanted that. So when I got a chance to get this guy, Triton, first time in the line, bruh, and he's in a 2-pack with Blackagar Baltigan. Yeah. And then Gorgon, first time in the line, was in a 2-pack with Queen Medusa. And then Lockjaw and Crystal were in a 2-pack together. Now, a lot of people are saying Karnak is outdated because he's on the Pizza Spidey Buck. I'm not one of those people. Karnak is supposed to be lean, mean, and I believe that this is a good representation of the character. However, if they were to drop a 2-pack with Karnak and Maximus the Mad, I would not be angry because that is what I have in my official handbook of the Marvel Universe, which of course is what I base my entire collection on. So this is a happy moment right here. This is let me look at that. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Just to have all of them together like this is awesome. Awesome. Now let's get into the stars of this particular review. The stars of this particular review are, of course, going to be Black Bolt and Triton. So we will slowly peel back the characters until we have Black Bolt and Triton. All of the articulation on these characters are on point. pinless everything all the way around. So it's a good thing. Except for that and that. So maybe we will get an updated version. Maybe we will. Let's move those out the way and give you the 2 stars of the show. Now you're probably saying, why do you have the mask on Triton instead of going with the old school head sculpt? I didn't go with the old school head sculpt because although it is old school and it does give you a great representation of the character, he just doesn't look badass to me. He looks more like, what was that one dude? It was a dragon, something dragon, where it was a guy that was like a superhero or some type of crime fighter, and he looked like this. Okay, so this doesn't. I mean, it's fine, but he just looks more menacing. Look at that. Do you see the texture in the right up here where the dorsal fin is? The ears are way more amphibious. This is a much better head sculpt. Much better. Now, let me show you something else. Because you knew I was about to do it anyway, so let me do it. Boom. That right there is Triton in the book. So you got Triton in the book. It's got the pirate boots. It's got the stripes. All the little bells and whistles. You see the scales. And he's got that head sculpt that I did not use. But another thing I wanted to show you, and I'll even knock the figures over to show you this. Guess who's next? Guess who's next? Look at that. Is that the UFOs? Is that the villainous Fantastic Four that we still don't have in Marvel Legends form? That could easily be turned into a box set that we would probably all buy to put on our Fantastic Four shelf? Hey Dwight, is that what that is? Look at that right there. See, look. Right there after the figure that you just gave us. See Triton right there. And then you see the UFOs. You see Vector, you see Vapor, you see X-Ray, and you see Ironclad. Right there. It's right there. All right. I know. But Triton, first time in the line. First time. Excuse me. First time in the line. And he's got the hard waist swivel. You move this belt up. He's got the hard waist swivel and the ab crunch. So he gets a double thumbs up from me. He is double jointed, pinless elbows, double jointed, pinless knees, can kick his own ass with absolutely no problem. Upper thigh cut, boot cut, yes. Front facing pin for rocker on the feet, peg holes at the bottom of the feet, serial numberage on the bottom of the feet. Comes with out the box with the fisted hands. And he actually comes out the box with the classic head sculpt. Classic head sculpt. So you want to give him the classic, that's fine. He just doesn't look as badass to me. This looks way more menacing to me. If you can see the details and how much more amphibious, look at his ears. This looks like a fish. This looks like an alien. This looks like a fish. So when you see Triton in my universe, just know that he'll have this on. He'll have this on. All right, now he comes out of the box with the fisted, but he's also got what I'm gonna call the swimmers because he doesn't fly. So he's got the swimmers. So what you do is take these off and put these on like so. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna give him that Man from Atlantis deal. Give him the heads up like that. And there he is. Swimming at great speeds under the water. However you want to illustrate him kicking his legs or whatever. And there he is. Going to have him doing something like that. Boom. And the color palette is right on point. The texture all over the body with the scales isn't overdone. And it's matted, so it's not super shiny as well. Gives off I know it's got some ideas. We got some people that have some ideas that are immediately gonna go, man, that is a really dope green goblin. I could change that into green goblin real quick. Kit bashers are going crazy right now. Now he does have a little bit of butterfly jointage, but it isn't really substantial. But it's there. It is there. And yeah, pretty decent figure, pretty decent representation of Triton. You saw what he looks like in the book. Pretty comic book accurate. You know, I'm all for that. Now, let's move Triton to the side and talk about Blackagar Baltigan. First of all, let's talk about that name. What in the hell? What in the hell, man? You couldn't sit down and think of something better than that. The superhero name is Black Bolt, and his real name is Blackagar Baltigan. Really? Blackagar Baltigan. That's what you came up with. Okay. All right. So now the meat and potatoes of this action figure, of course. Let's get through articulation first because everybody's talking about the wings. Remember the wings couldn't come off? Well, now they can. They are pegged in the back like Falcon and some other characters, Vulture. But these are the more laid back. They're just, I'm just standing there, wings. And then, of course, he's got the going into battle boys. Let's see, which side do I put those on? Is that going to be like this? Okay, yep. That would be more like that. All right. And then just adjust the arm like so. All right. With the other one on this side. And it plugs in right under the arm. There's a plug. Let me show it to you. Right under the arm. See that? Right there. There's a plug. And so you just insert and boom. All right. And now give him the look up. Fresh out the box from yesterday, so he's still not. But yeah, there he is like that. Wing spread. Now, of course, you gotta give him this. This is a staple because we all know that Black Bolt isn't really a talker, and for good reason. For good reason. All right, that's what we're looking for. Because when he does this, mountains crumble and people turn to dust. Okay, so this is him fully going. Now, the accessories on the wings, that's dope because they gave him options. Options are what we're all about. We're all about those options. He's got the screamer right there, done in all black and silver. Yes, it is the Vulcan body mode. And so let's get into this articulation. He has it all. He's got the hard waist swivel as well as the ab crunch. And why do I always cry about that? For people that say, oh, he's always crying about that, because when I want to get Black Bolt to look like he is really stepping into his power and taking somebody down, I need him to be able to crouch like so. I need that. See that? That is what I'm looking for. That is the hard waist swivel and the ab crunch. That's what that is. That's that combination. Now he has a little bit of butterfly edge as well. It's not really all that prominent, but it does the job. Michigan. Starting to get bad out. I'm gonna have to NyQuil it up tonight. No getting sick for the kid. None of that. But yeah, this is good, man. This is exactly what I asked for. Thank you, Dwight. Appreciate it. This is exactly what I needed. I'm about to do a whole thing where I go back through my collection and put all the groups together. Because now I've got Dark Avengers. For the most part, I have Alpha Flight. Still looking for Marina. Got Excalibur. Different iterations of the Avengers. Different iterations of Fantastic Four. Now the Inhumans. Like, bro, they cooking with gas right now. They're cooking with gas right now. These two figures, especially this guy right here, is a first time in the line. I have never seen Triton. If I did, it wasn't in a 6 inch, because I would have tried to grab him, even if it was old school, until they gave me a new school one. So I think this is pretty much Triton's first time in the line. But this is a good pickup, man. This is a really good pickup to be able to have all of them together and be able to say this is the Inhumans, and I can actually put the entire team together now. This is huge. This is huge. And if you didn't already watch the review where I did Medusa and Gorgon, the way they have the hair articulated is fire. There's a hinge in the back where she can move her hair from left to right, and that is a good idea. Definitely a good idea. Now all of them can be together. Trying to get them all in the frame. All right, kind of, sort of. Yeah, you're not gonna get Gorgon all the way in the shot because of how tall he is. He's a monster. Some people have been complaining about how big he is. I'm not complaining at all. I love it. He's huge, and I thought they were going to use the wrencher legs. Dwight did me one better. So proud of him. That guy is so good at his job. Great job. I love it. As long as you keep putting stuff on my shelf that I need, I'm going to sing your praises, sir. Absolutely. Sing your praises. All right. We hitting that 20-minute mark, so I want to say thank you for watching, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Rewind. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Hit that little bell and get notified so you are notified each and every time we drop new content here on 16 TV. See, sounded better when I rewound it. See, she was supposed to rewind. All right, everybody. Peace.